Hello and welcome to this video. Now, you might be surprised to see I have two characters leveled up around 70. I got baited by a lightning strike for this guy, and I have been doing a ice shot Deadeye. Now it's not perfect, it's been tweaked here and there. Now the lightning strike, I tried to do it, it could barely get through the 10x, and then it took half an hour plus just to pass Bone Crypt, and then ran Bone Crypt again after changing some things, changed it to a bow-based build, and it had less damage but more survivability, and couldn't complete the map. It only went about halfway before I figured 45 minutes odd just to crawl through the map ain't worth it. So, a very, lack of a better term, safe ice shot. Because I've been through the campaign twice, I do have a decent amount of stuff as far as finishing the campaign, which meant I had Val Orbs, so I could turn this into a Val Ice Shot. We are running this totem setup, Grace and Herald of Ice, and obviously Frenzy and Mark on Hit with Blink Arrow. Obviously the Blink Arrow is not marked on hit. But, two things. One, I want to do this in sort of as budget as possible. I know that's a little hard with a bow build. If you want to make it tanky, it generally costs. But I think if we can get currency together, we can create, similar to my normal settlers, my Modern Striker Zenith, I was able to get up to T17s and able to interact and farm the content on that before the Chaos transition on about 7 to 10 div. So if we can do 7 to 10 div on this, what do we end up with? Experience, obviously would prefer that up, pack size, item drop, and strongest. So we just move all that out of the way. And what do you think about the lantern? It says it gives you all the positives. It doesn't say that it adds in all the stuff anyway. So you'll be able to see the glass cannon, like, as you can see, we can't really take a hit, but we can dish out enough damage for where we're at. In comparison, the damage we're doing is about 20, well, between 16 and like 30, depending on our trendy. We were doing about 16k damage and dying in one hit on map tier 1s with Lightning Strike. When I added some more survivability, we were doing slightly less damage, but we were actually killing them because we could survive more than one hit. So in comparison, this is might as well be god tier in comparison to the Lightning Strike. I do realize that the Lightning Strike has videos and stuff out there for endgame that you can destroy everything, but obviously League start, I do not have between 100 and 500 divines to spend on everything. And through research and everything, there was a lot of builds, content, everything going through a leveling system that you could actually achieve at least yellow red maps without heavy investment. But obviously that was POB bait, and unfortunately trying to do something a little different to what I usually do meant that I had to do the campaign twice since launch, pretty much back to back. Obviously I took a break because I'd just dealt with the lightning strike having to cause me to reset, so I took a breather from POE and then came back and did the campaign, and obviously family and everything. So as you can see, it ain't terrible. Like, I'm not saying we can take on Shaper right now, but like, this feels good. The clear speed, considering we are just out of the campaign, I think feels quite nice. I have not interacted with, excuse me, I have not interacted with the league mechanic of obviously Settlers. I haven't even talked to the guy, so we don't even have respect for gold. I'll do it now, just we'll go all the way back to the start. And yeah, if you actually click on it and you haven't engaged with this guy, it shuts down the ore. Now that might not happen every time, but when you're fighting around everything, you accidentally click on things and it says, oh, go find a way to get to King's March. It doesn't spawn anything. The one that fires lightning down and everything, that is actually a great thing to accidentally click on and shut it down. So we'll click on this guy. This guy means that we can interact with the ores, go to King's March, and should have, nope, got to go through the tutorial obviously. Okay. Maybe we gotta speak to Rufus. Because obviously it's been ages since I actually built the town when the league launched, and I just did it straight up, so I wasn't trying to get the gold reset. Okay, those guys are there. So yeah, maybe I gotta build a couple of things to actually unlock that gold. I'm not sure. I'm doing strong boxes to start with, and then also probably shrines. But this is our passive tree, where I might change that actually. I'm not sure about fast shot, but that's more of a boss setup, clearing and boss, but the projectile barrages have no spread, That's more of a boss. Like, it just whoosh at a single target. Not really a clear. So, I'm not too keen on fast shot, but let me know. Additional projectiles would be my next one, regardless of whether I went that way or that way. Marks obviously is looking nice. And the other stuff, damage taken per gale force, and we get the gale force through this whenever we use a skill. Obviously we're using skills a lot, so do we go here? Or, yeah, like, let me know what you think. I want to do it different whilst being a budget, so we're not going to just get a whole heap of gear, try to just focus on currency, get a bunch of gear, make it expensive. I want this to be still relatively cheap. Obviously, once we get to a point, we can then start investing in more. This from 2 campaigns, as well as these tattoos. And obviously these from my lightning strike as well. I was picking them up. They're not really any good to me as a bird person. And obviously the currency, this is what I got to use. So let me know what you think of the league so far, league event. I think it needs some of the more godly unkillables to get toned down a lot, especially campaign. In the maps, I will accept that there's going to be unkillables. They don't drop anything, they're not worth it. And in the campaign, when you're trying to build your character and you get horde of meat sacks running at you, it's not all that great. And then some of the modifiers, like the Katava Heralds, they get some of the bad modifiers and they just one-shot you from off screen. So I did the campaign twice, so it's fresh. The pain is fresh in my head because I've had to go back-to-back campaign. So maybe it's like soured my thoughts on it a little, but it's way too much negative necropolis, not enough the positive. But that could be because I went through the campaign twice back to back. That could be souring everything, and I haven't been able to get the build going and just get into actually playing POE. But let me know what you're building, how you're going, and whether you've got any of those nice shiny divines to drop for you. I'll catch you next time, and hit all those buttons.